Thank you, Dick. So it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, Carylanne. Carylanne is a spiritual guide, a life coach, and integrative energy practitioner with 28 plus years experience and a commitment to helping people improve their lives, health, and well-being. She offers personalized, comprehensive care for your body, mind, and spirit to help individuals grow and evolve, to get to the root of their life challenges, learn new ways to cope, and navigate successfully to open up the rivers of abundance in their lives. Her interest and training in holistic health, healing, and wellness began in 1993 after a life-changing spiritual awakening. As a patient student under the care of a Reiki master in Florida, she began to trust her inner guidance system, overcome severe anxiety, and begin the discovery of her authentic self through meditation, prayer, Reiki, affirmational living, mindfulness, and other spiritual practices. Her holistic healthcare and wellness training began at the ARE in Virginia Beach. And at an early age, she had a unique relationship with nature and awareness of the angelic realm. She's dedicated to her spiritual path, living in Christ consciousness, and follows the teachings of our beloved way shower, Jesus Christ. Carylanne is an ordained minister in the Order of Melchizedek, a meditation guide, and prayer. She is an avid reader of some of the great spiritual teachers, New Thought writers, and visionaries. I always look forward to Carylanne speaking with us. She's a happy person and radiates joy. And let us welcome Carylanne.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you. And Dick, thank you for that beautiful song. It was really heart-inspiring. So I'm going to start with a funny story. When I saw the water in a bottle today, I was getting ready to give a talk at the ARE, and I was really, really nervous. And so I went to open the bottle of water, and the water went everywhere. And it just splattered everywhere in my shoes. I had to take off my shoes and everything, but it broke my nervousness, you know? And so this cap is coming off much easier. Good morning, fellowship. Good morning, beautiful souls that are here and following us on Zoom today. I am always really open to what I see on the way over here in the morning. And the thing that really struck me this morning was there was a license plate in front of me that said, "Be encouragement." And I thought that was pretty synchronistic for this day, and how here at the fellowship, more than ever, everyone is loving and encouraging everyone else. And you can really feel that when you come in here. The inspiration for my talk today was a story that was told to me a few weeks ago, which I'm going to share about giving and receiving. And so I've really been steeping myself in information about giving and receiving and what that means, and the ways in which we give and receive, and the ways in which God is always giving to us, through us, and as us. And there's a beautiful quote that I found by Mark Twain: "Give every day the chance to become the most beautiful day of your life." In Luke chapter 6, verse 38, it says, "The way you give to others is the way God will give to you." And God is constantly, God, source, however you choose to name that source of love, is constantly giving to us. And it's up to us to receive what we are being given. It's up to us to listen to what we are being guided to do. It's up to us to recognize how loved we are all the time, because we are. In every second, in every moment, whether our lives are running smoothly or there's bumps in the road, we are always receiving from the source. And I really do believe that giving and receiving are conduits that connect us more deeply to God and more deeply to love. And that in that giving and receiving, we open to love. We open to greater aspects of love in ourselves. We open to greater aspects of love in each other. And it really allows us to be the expression of God, of the source that we came here to be, because that's what we are. We are all the expression of this source of love, of this source of all knowingness, divine intelligence, and all of these things. So getting back to giving and receiving, giving can be a way of saying thank you to God, which I thought was really a really interesting way of looking at it, that in our giving, we are saying thank you to God, and we are thanking God for not only the grace, but for everything that God provides for us and for everything that we are by being that presence. Because when we are being that presence, we are exemplifying, I believe, the presence. And there always needs to be a giver and a receiver. And I think that a lot of times we may not realize that. In order for us to receive, then someone or something needs to be giving. And in order for us to give, there needs to be someone that receives. And it's a two-way street. The Dr. Deepak Chopra, American author, meditation guru, and advocate of alternative medicine, he says this. He says, giving and receiving are different forms of the same flow of energy in the universe. And I'm going to repeat that. Giving and receiving are different forms of the same flow of energy in the universe. So when we really take that in, we realize that it's this one continuous flow that is always happening of giving and receiving. And as we look at nature, nature is always giving and receiving. The sun gives to the plants, and then the plants and the trees grow and they give oxygen to us. And nature is God's greatest way of presenting God's creations to us. And it's up to us to notice how beautiful everything is. When I walked up to the fellowship, Bruce Shelton was walking out the door, and I was kind of overcome by the azaleas and all the beauty that's right there in the little front of this church. And so it's up to us to be receiving all the gifts, all the love that is everywhere that we're seeing. It's up to us to receive it, because in that receiving, we are filled with joy. We are filled with love. We are filled with appreciation. And so the other thing that Deepak Chopra says about giving is he speaks about the law of giving. The law of giving is very simple. If you want more joy, give more joy. If you seek appreciation or attention, give appreciation and attention. If you want love, give love and learn how to be loving and learn how to receive love. If you crave material possessions or affluence, help others to become prosperous. It really makes a lot of sense that giving and receiving are this one energy. It makes a lot of sense to me. So I thought we'd do a little meditative exercise. So I'm going to ask you to join me as we open to giving and receiving. So if you would get comfortable in your space and get comfortable in your space out there, you may close your eyes if you wish, uncross your legs, place your palms in your hands, and just begin to gently and slowly breathe in and breathe out, becoming acquainted with your breath, kind of getting into the groove and the flow of your breath and the flow of giving and receiving. And as you breathe in your breath floods your body with this glorious energy, and allow your body to receive it. Exhaling out. And if you would, bring to your attention or recall an experience where you received something that brought you joy, or something that you really needed, or helped you in some way. And breathe that experience into your heart. And now take a deep breath as you clear your palate for another breath. And now bring to your awareness a time when you gave something to someone, or you gave of your time, or you gave of your love, or you gave of your energy, or you gave of something physical. And bring this rich sensation that you felt when you gave to someone. And bring that rich sensation into your heart. That giving and receiving. And allow that experience, that time of giving and receiving, to take permanent residence in your heart right now. Filling your heart with that loving experience of giving and receiving. It may even bring a really big smile to your face, to your heart, into every cell of your body. The glory, the good, the love of God radiates through you and as you. And when you feel ready, take a breath, carrying that goodness with you, allowing your eyes to open once again. Giving and receiving are associated with the heart center, the heart chakra. And so one of the reasons we feel so good when we're giving and receiving is it because it expands this area of our body, of our senses. And I actually looked up the definition of giving and receiving, and the definition of receiving is to accept, welcome someone or something, reap, inherit, or gather. And I just want to say that I always feel so welcome whenever I am here at the fellowship. And the definition of giving is to bestow, to contribute, to provide something, whether that be love, care, support, or some type of material product or something. So this idea of giving and receiving, it's something that we're doing all the time. Whether we realize it or not, we are in a constant state, a constant flow of giving and receiving. And we get to choose. We get to choose in every moment how we choose to give, how we choose to give of our time, how we choose to give of our love, how we choose to give of our wealth, how we choose to give of our joy, of our knowledge, of our wisdom, of our gifts in music, in prayer. And more, I really do believe that this is a time for us to open to giving and receiving and to expand our ability to do that. Because have you ever been in a situation where someone went to give you something and you said, oh no, that's okay, I got it. Or no, I don't really need that. Well, when we do that, we're actually breaking the chain of giving and receiving. Because if someone is offering to give to us, we are loving them by receiving, and they are loving us by giving. So it's important for us to really tune in at this time to our ability to give and receive. Are you someone who's more comfortable giving? Is that something that you notice about yourself? Are you someone who doesn't do as well on the receiving end? You know, I think as Sarah was saying, God, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. God loves a cheerful giver. Yes. And so how can we open to receive more? We do that by letting go of old wounds or blocks that are inside of us, or any feelings of unworthiness or things of that nature. And now more than ever, it's just so important that we can love ourselves and love each other and heal. You know, I really do believe that this is a time of great healing for each of us, for us collectively, for us on the planet. It's just an incredible time to love ourselves and to learn how to do that. You know, I in my practice, people sometimes come in and they're like, how do you love yourself? How do you even start? By loving yourself, you know? And some of the ways we love ourselves is through prayer, through meditation. Some of the ways we love ourselves is noticing all the beauty that's around us and actually experiencing the joy of that. Some of the ways that we love ourselves is by eating good food and exercising, or by simply accepting who we are as we are. And so the more we love ourselves, the more that we are able to give and share love. And we are vessels for God. That's what we are. That's why we're here. So I'm going to share my story now. A couple of weeks ago, I was in one of the nail salons up at Hilltop that I've been going to for a long time. And when I used to go in, there was always this woman, Nancy, that would give me the pedicure. And she's lovely. The whole family is. They're just loving and giving people. And but I hadn't seen Nancy in quite a few years, actually. And on this day, I walked in and Nancy was sitting there and she was free. And I was thinking, oh, it's my lucky day. This is really nice. So she's talking to me and she's asking me about, you know, how I was doing and, you know, did I have to close my business, you know, during that time of COVID. And we talked a little bit about that. And she was talking to me about how generous everybody was when they opened, because they had to close for 4 months and they still had to pay rent. And for those of you out there, you don't know the area, but at Hilltop in Virginia Beach, it's kind of expensive to have a store up there. And I could hear that, you know, in her voice and in her tone that, you know, they had been through struggles. And so she tells me that one day a woman comes in that she had never seen before, had never been to their salon. And she's talking with her, and this woman is asking her how they are. And she's really, really invested in hearing how Nancy is doing and how her business is doing. And Nancy was kind of wondering and thinking, that's really interesting. Like, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what conversation you're going to have with someone. And she kept saying that as she was telling the story. She kept saying, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what God's going to bring your way. And I was sitting there thinking, yes, that's true. I believe that too. We never know what's going to happen. And so she's sharing with the woman, and the woman's listening. And, she concludes the pedicure and everything. And the woman asks her how much it is. And I think she said it's $25 or $30. And the woman takes out her checkbook. And she's writing out this check. And then she prayed over the check. And Nancy's watching all of this. And I literally felt like I was there the way she was telling the story. And she hands Nancy the check. And the woman gave her a check for $2,000. And Nancy started to cry because she was so moved that someone that she was meeting for the very first time was giving to her in this way. And she received it. She received the gift that she was being given. And I was so moved by this story that when I was getting ready to come here, all I could think about was, how can I share this story? How can I share about the goodness of people during these times? There are people, and one of my friends, when I told her the story, she said, Carylanne, you know that there are angels here on earth. She said, and that woman was an angel for Nancy and her family. And I just, even as I'm sharing this now, can you feel the love? Can you feel the love that Nancy was receiving and that woman was feeling? That moment of giving and receiving. And I just really hope that more and more people are open to giving and receiving and are open to doing acts of giving in that way, because you just never know how you're changing someone's life by giving and receiving. And so, Nancy and I were smiling, and she said, you see, you never know what's going to happen. You just never know. So I'll leave you with this. God is always loving and giving and communicating to us and through us in absolutely everything. So as you go through your week, be open to receive, be open to give, and be open to love. Thank you.